This is What If Deku Was a God Part 2. Now, Part 1 did pretty good, I guess. But yeah, guys, I'm jumping back into YouTube. Lately, I've been kind of hit or miss with my videos, not posting enough, and spraying my videos by weeks, by 2 weeks, and end off. And it's, I just got back, I'm doing, high school, final exams are coming up, benchmarks and stuff like that, and studying and everything like that. And also I have a girlfriend now, and just every time I feel like I don't have enough time anymore. But I'm gonna change. I'm gonna be changing up my schedule, finding time frames and everything's like that. I'm recording this like in the middle of the night because I slept all day after school, so I'm basically gonna be staying up until I go to my bus stop. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed these videos I'm gonna be posting today, because I am going to be recording a lot of videos tonight. I'm probably going to post them later this week. But yeah, also by the end of this month, you will get at least 2 to 1 stop motion from me. I'm going to try to start doing a lot more of stop motions and trying to pop them out more, at least 2 a month. Last month, I was supposed to come out with the Iron Man stop motion, but I didn't have the thumbnail done yet, and also the voice acting is coming up slow. I asked you guys to do voice acting for me, but none of you come in clutch. Like, none of you are reliable at all. Not even the day ones on my channel that, comment on 50% of everything I post. They ain't even trying to do it either. So I'll just have to resort to using my own voice. So, but yeah, I'm probably gonna change up my whole setup with my stop motions and just stop doing voice acting entirely, because it just seems like it goes through so much work to change my voice every single line. But yeah, but I want to stop talking and let's just dive right into this What If. What if Deku was a god, part 2. Part 2. Now, I last left off where Deku woke up from a dream as he would have seen the Sandman, as basically he would have been, told in a dream that he's interesting and that the Sandman will be watching over him. Now what would happen is we get switched the next day, as I did tell you that I don't know for sure I made UA a college or not, because it's a dorm room area. So Deku wakes up from his dorm room later in the night as he goes back to sleep a couple hours later, as pretty much they are told that they're doing combat training. Basically what would happen is, well, they were told to get their uniforms, and they were given their uniforms and their hero costumes, as one of the Japanese gods of, I guess, craft, or you could say a luck, was able to get a suit sponsorship for Deku, as it was basically based off latent Roman designs plus modern technology to make it more like a god Roman Greek type of aesthetic. So it's basically kind of the outfit from Blood of Zeus, that Netflix show, if you've seen it. It's kind of like that outfit with a little bit more modern design, a lot more of a modern take on the outfit, with a little bit more modern technology, but also old-fashioned technology, like as in old-fashioned Roman weapons mixed into it. So it's basically an arsenal of godlike weapons from Greek history that Hera was able to give to the Japanese god to put into Deku's hero costume. So the first outfit is a sword made from a steel so powerful that gods use it for their everyday weapons and items to make them powerful. So items or steel, the same steel that's made out of Poseidon's staff or scepter, or the same steel that, Zeus wears for armor. So it's incredibly powerful, and it's the only one of the most rarest god metals, because it's steel that can kill any Greek or even sometimes other gods. So it's a very powerful weapon or material, as it's a sword that can cut and hurt gods. It can easily kill Greek gods if you get close enough. But it's also a very powerful blade that can cut or wound any type of god, no matter how powerful or strong they are. So basically, this steel is very hard to come by, and only the most powerful gods have this steel. But it's made out of, or the most powerful gods have this metal or its material the majority of the gods of the top 3 do have access to a lot of this material, but others, like Hermes and, was it Achilles, that demigod, don't really have them that much, but they do have them still nonetheless. It's a normal Greek sword. I'll put a picture up of that sword and also put a picture up of the suit as well, the concept art I did for it, and I edited it a little bit. So basically, it is simple. Deku was able to put this armor on, and he liked it a lot. It gave him, a little bit more, a home feel. It also had a built-in type of fabric or nanotech in the fabric. So the fabric couldn't easily rip or burn. So the fabric was fireproof, and also some of the armor plates were bulletproof and also very durable. So things like Detroit Smash and All For One's attacks could easily, get deflected by this middle, but it was so little of it that you had to rely more on dodging than actually blocking. So yeah, Deku also had a type of gem on the side in the inside palm of one of the goblets or gloves, strips, or straps, whatever he had on his wrist. It literally gives him a type of, I guess you could say luck. It's more or less a gem that can give him temporary luck for about 15 seconds, and then it's gone, and the rest of the day he has normal type of luck. Now, other than that, I'm not really gonna give Deku any more abilities in his suit because he's not a demigod. He doesn't really need any god type gifts. All he has is that, very powerful sword, also some spears, and also an arrow, a bow and arrow. And his bow and arrow is actually very powerful. It has a type of, the string to it is made out of, or is dipped in the same river Achilles was dipped in, making the strand invincible. Basically making it uncuttable and also making it so strong that if the arrow is shot from it, the arrow will move as fast or if faster as a bullet could ever even fathom think about. So the arrow would be basically moving at light speeds. So it was a very powerful weapon as well. And the bow was pretty powerful. It was just a normal, steel bow. But other than that, yeah. So we can switch to combat training. As everybody has their same outfits and everything like that, as I also explained that there is other gods in this story and this plot. So yeah, and gods are spread around the whole world. So some characters will have godlike abilities and be demigods. So we could switch to Kirishima, as Kirishima is a demigod and his father is Hades. Now we see Kirishima, no, not Hades, but I will, tell you who his father really is later on in the story. But basically, what would happen is that his powers will be exactly the same, his quirk will be the same, but he would have some sort of god type abilities, as he would have a type of fire, or pyrokinesis on top of his hardening ability, making his body able to turn into a type of lava type texture for his unbreakable form. So it's basically his unbreakable form, but his skin turns into a lava type material. So yeah, a lava rock type material. So it's a pretty powerful quirk or pretty powerful power. So basically the combat training starts off the same. Deku is teamed up with Chakyu and teamed up against Bakugo and Ida. As Bakugo has a grudge against Deku, as he thinks he's too powerful and thinks Deku thinks that he thinks that Deku thinks that he's better than everybody. So Bakugo goes on a journey, or is determined to beat the absolute crap out of Deku. But little does he know, Deku's finna whoop his ass for real. But let's just get away from that. But basically, we see that Deku walks in to the building as he tells Ochaku to go that way as he goes upwards, doing a little bit of a technique as he tells her to go upwards, and he tells her to go that way, around the other side, go up the stairs on the other side, as I will go straight up to the bottom room to see if I have a clear shot of taking down Ida or even Bakugo if they're in the same room. As Bakugo leaves the room in the same as in canon, as he looks for Deku. As Deku runs up the stairs, as he eventually comes across Bakugo through the halls. As he looks at Bakugo and he stares at him, as he dodges more and more attacks, as eventually he dodges and dodges and he weaves and dodges as he takes out his bow and arrow to try to get a clean shot on Bakugo's like calf or something. As Bakugo uses an explosion to block away the arrow and hit the bow out of his hands, as Deku pretty much tuck and rolls away from the explosion as he takes out his sword and cuts through the secondary explosion, kicking Bakugo straight in the chest, knocking him into a nearby wall. Through a wall, actually, because Deku does have his god-type abilities and strength, as Deku will also exhibit more abilities since he is the son of one of the most powerful Greek gods. Now, Deku, and also, he's a full-blooded god as well, so yeah. But Deku would have started to dodge more and more attacks from Bakugo, eventually being fast enough to dodge all of his attacks, punching Bakugo straight up the jaw, knocking him into a nearby wall. As Deku grabs his sword, because it did fall out of his hands when he got blown up in the face a few times while he was dodging. As Deku chucks the sword at Bakugo's leg, pretty much pinning him to the ground, as Bakugo pulls his gauntlet, as Deku was kind of confused as he tries to block or dodge out of the way, but it's too late as he's blown almost through the whole building. As Deku was blown out of the building, and he grabs a nearby pillar that's fallen out of the building, as he crawls back into the building. As Deku runs up the stairs, leaving his sword behind, as he runs up the stairs, as he goes up, and he eventually sees the room as it's covered in rubble and it's floating rocks everywhere as Ochaku's trying to get Ida, but Ida's running around the room with the bomb in his hands, getting away from Ochaku pretty easily. As Deku says he can stop this, as he takes out his bow and arrow, because as he was running around up the stairs, he was able to find his bow on the floor, but he did leave the sword behind since it was pinning down Bakugo. Now Deku would have had his bow in his hand, as he would have made a clear shot on Ida's engine, basically striking it and making Ida fumble on the ground, as Deku would have sprinted over there using his electricity manipulation, as it would have, she would have, shocked the bomb in his hand, or use electricity to make kind of electric whips to whip them towards him, so he would grab the bomb. So he won. The team won, villains lose, heroes win. As Deku is crowned kind of the MVP since he was able to finish the fight pretty well, pretty fast, with minimal casualties, but a lot of destruction though. Now, we will see that Deku would have ended off there, as we would see that everything else, all the other, pretty much, combat training would have gone the same. Kirishima's combat training, his powers wouldn't really be used that much since it was kind of a demigod type thing, since he could use it, but it did do a little bit of a toll on his body. Now, we get switched to later that night after the combat training. Everybody's sent back to their dorm rooms after class as well, as Deku walks into class. Not walks into class, but he thinks he is. As he walks into class, as he's confused as no one's in the class, as he sees the same man he saw in his dream yesterday night, as the man looks at him and says, "Oh, you're dreaming. A dream of your classroom. Interesting. Dreams are a subconscious thing. They're either things you fear or things you desire in real life." As Deku says, "Who are you, and why do you keep on coming in my dreams? What do you want from me? Why are you here?" As he says, "I'm here to tell you this, Deku. Your story is unfolding very fast. In the underworld and all around the world, all around the realms, everywhere, there are prophecies of you. A child born from Zeus that can unite all the gods in one. A child born from the gods of Greek mythology. A child more powerful than anybody can fathom. A child destined to become the king of all gods, no matter what mythology he came from." As Deku's confused, saying, "So I'm the chosen one. Is that what you're saying?" As Deku says that sarcastically, as the man says, "Well, technically yes, you are the chosen one. All the prophecies say the same thing. You are destined to bring peace, destined to become the hero of all heroes, to outweigh the heroism of characters and stories and your half brothers, like Achilles, not Achilles, but he is your cousin. I could say that, but like your half brothers, like Zeus, like Hercules or Perseus, or characters even such as. And Deku stops and saying, "Why you keep on referring them? Oh my God, I can't talk today. What the frig? Referring them as characters." As the Sandman says, in your realm, they might be real people, but in my realm, I don't refer to any of you as real. I live in another spectrum of, well, life. It's just interesting to be in this world, and the problems it has is so powerful that it can even spread into my world. So I have to stay check. I have to keep tabs on you, Deku. Or should I say, blah 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 blah. I forgot his name. I forgot the Greek name I gave Deku in the first. Remind me in the comments. But what happened is, well, Deku would have said, "So, what do you want from me? What do I need to do for these prophecies to become true? For me to bring, I guess, quote unquote, peace?" As well, the Sandman says, peace comes from you. It never says how you bring it, but it does say you do go on a quest, a journey. As Deku says, okay, so I'm supposed to go on a journey, and I'm supposed to do all these quests. So how am I supposed to do all this? As the Sandman says, well, there's one thing you can do. There is a mountain deep into Norse mythology. What do you mean, Norse? The Norse way, the Norse side of the world. As a deep, very, very dangerous mountain that you need to pass to get to a certain specific weapon that you need to defeat Odin. Or wait, let me look at the scroll real quick. As Deku's confused as the man looks at the scroll, rattling in his bag, as he takes out a scroll and says, okay, it seems like to be very quick, simple, and short, you need to kill Thor. As Deku was shocked, said, the Norse god, Thor, the one that was able to almost defeat my father, the god of all gods. Are you crazy? As he would have said, no, you're destined to kill him, or at least defeat him. As Deku says, well, I'm gonna defeat him. I don't want to kill him. How would I even be able to kill somebody like Thor, the god of thunder, the god that was able to go up against my father without minimum to no effort? It was a very gruesome fight. I heard from my father's stories, but I don't know if I'll be powerful enough to take him on. As Deku says, as the man says, you are the most powerful god in the Greek mythology now. You are a full-blooded god born from Zeus and Hera. You have so much potential that you cannot even fathom. You have so much power that you cannot even think of. You are unstoppable, Midoriya, and you need to believe that fast. If you give into it, your mind, your body will at once give you all the power you need to be who you need to be. As he says, okay, enough. Wake up. As Deku would have woken up, but he wouldn't be in his dorm, as he would have been on a mountainside in cold weather in a white coat and jeans, with his weapons on him, his bow and arrow, and his sword. As he would have looked around, as he would have been day walking, or basically someone would have hijacked his body, as it would have been a lackey of the Sandman, as he would have been in nice clothes with his weapons, and him catching a ride to this mountain, as he would have to reach the top of it very fast, passed by multiple weapons, multiple creatures, other gods, and minor Norse Acer gods. As we would get a little dive into Greek mythology in part 3. Now, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. This video was a little bit short, but part 3 will be a lot better, and I won't be stuttering so much. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. Deuces.